This stock is getting a lot of buzz on Reddit. So in this video, we're going to do some technical analysis and I'm going to give you some price prediction. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please like this video and subscribe. The usual series that I do on this channel is called Hot Stock Alert, where I try to find undervalued stocks right before they rally. And I've predicted almost every single time I first bring you the stock rallies like 100, sometimes 200%. Like back here, when I introduced Open Door for the first time, it was trading at 71 cents. And from that point on, it rallied all the way up to $5. So please, you can like check my work, take a look at those videos and subscribe if you like information like that. But this is a series that's a little different. On this series, I'm going over stocks that I see are trending on Reddit. And what I came across is Plug Power. So this isn't like the undervalued stocks that I bring you. So we're going to do some technical analysis and don't get your hopes up because it doesn't mean that it will go up. After we do the technical analysis, we'll come to that conclusion together and see what would be a good price point to take an entry position and if you should take an exit if you're already in profit and where we can expect the price to go next. So to get started, we see the price as I'm making this video today. So yesterday it was looking a little bit more hopeful because it was still above the 50-day moving average and right wedge between the 50 and 200. And usually we know when this happens that the stock, if it goes above the 200, then it's on its way to a rally. But today it's not looking that great because it's trading below the 50-day moving average. But let's wait till the end of trading and see where it closes, and let's see what happens tomorrow. But I'm also going to show you some trend lines, some support and resistance that will give you a better idea. This right here is one trend line. So I'm going to draw a channel. This would be the lower bound of that channel. And then and this right here would be the upper bound of this channel. So you see how let me make it nice and pretty. So you see how it's kind of trading within this channel. And so it's not looking really good today, but don't get your hopes down because the entire market is down and it's only down 2%. So the broader market is affecting this. So if it closes below this trend line right here, it trades down another 5% and then it goes back up and it tries to break this lower trend line and it doesn't. Oh man, that's bad sign. We don't want to see that. What we want to see is tomorrow if the market recovers and the volume comes into the stock, we want to see it start to like rally back up. And if it starts to rally back up, like from here, you could take advantage of a solid, I'm telling you, like if it starts to rally back up, you're in for a solid 40% from here. So this is one. And then the other trend line that I've noticed is this right here. I'll show you right now. So you take from the previous local high to right here. See how, and the way, so I've been doing charting for like over 15 years. So it's kind of obvious to me. It might not be obvious to you, but you could see like, okay, so that was the upper bound right here. And here it tried to break it one time, failed, came back and tried to break another time, failed. So again, from here, it could potentially start to trade back down, but you see like how it's right in between this wedge, like right, like, you know, if it trades at this, if it trades between like say $1.60 to $1.70, it's going to either do one or two things. It's going to come back up to like say $1.69 and boom, come right back down. Or if it breaks this $1.69 and it's also above this bottom trend line, then you're seeing a massive rally. You can easily take advantage of a 40% gain. And I know like a lot of you guys are at different positions. So the way to make money on this, again, nothing is financial or trading advice. If you watch my other videos, I have one rule. Gordon Gekko lied to. Greed is not good. The only way you can lose money trading stocks is if you get too greedy. If you're in the profit right now and you see the price comes up to this trend line and it's not breaking it, take the profit. There will always be more opportunity. Don't get greedy. The only way you can lose money is if you get greedy. Take that advice. But I'm not giving you any trading or financial advice. The only advice I'm giving you is don't get greedy. If you don't get greedy, if you're in the profit, always take the profit. Same thing. When I found Open Door stock at 71 cents, I personally took profit at like around $2, which is massive. I made thousands of dollars. But from $2, it went all the way up to $5. But there was no way to like predict it exactly. And from that $2, it could have dumped, and I could have not capitalize on all that gain that I had. So again, You have to come up with your own exit strategy and don't get too greedy and you'll be fine. So going back to the weekly chart, I know like the short float is very high and we are going to take a look at that information very shortly. So stick on. Also, if you're liking this video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. I have a goal of trying to get one of my videos to 100 likes. If everyone that's watching this video right now, especially if you made it this far, just hit the like, just hit it really fast, hit the like button. That really helps me out a lot. And I just want to see, let's get one of my videos to 100 likes. Let's do it as a community. Let's see if we can get it done, and leave a comment. I'll respond to every single person who comments. So I know you are all okay, let's turn on the moving averages. So I know you're all waiting for a short squeeze like the one that we saw like back here. So this happened in like 2 months, massive like 150% rally. And that could potentially happen again. And the reason for that, so even if like we take a look at the earnings are, pretty decent. Like they're making, it's $1 billion company, they're bringing in $150 million in revenue, and they beat the estimate. So that's a good sign. But even if the earnings are kind of like the same, there something else happens for there to be a technical short squeeze, and I'm going to show you that right now. So so hope you guys paid attention to the trend lines and stuff, but let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all that. And we're on the weekly chart. So on the weekly, if it breaks this 50-day moving average and it's clearly, you see like what a huge gap it is between the price and the 50-day moving average. And it tried to break it once back here, right after the earnings. It tried to break it once back in the beginning of the year, couldn't do it. And it tried it again, like maybe like a few weeks ago, like in July, couldn't do it. And so that's what we want to see. Before you have any idea of a potential short squeeze in your head, we have to see the price from this point at least trade up a solid 20%, which I think it could do. But not just that, it has to stay above that. If it breaks this 50-day moving average, I'm going to show you why a short squeeze is very likely. If it breaks this 50-day moving average on the weekly, then it could easily trade up all the way to $11 to 425%, because that's what usually happens. Once the price breaks the 50-day moving average, it always wants to go up and test the 200-day moving average. And I can show you like hundreds of examples of that. It happens on the daily, it happens on the 4-hour chart. And when it happens on the weekly, that's even like more robust, like more potent, because the weekly is a stronger signal than daily or 4 hours. So before you get all hopeful thinking, okay, I'm going to put some money in because I'm waiting for a short squeeze, pay attention to these price points. It has to break this 50-day moving average on the weekly. And if it does, boom, it will try to test the 200-day moving average. So having showed you that, let's go take a look at the short float information. Here, I'm highlighting it. It's on the left side of the screen. You see like highlighted right here, short float. So the short float is incredibly high. 29% is an incredibly high short float. And the short ratio is also very high. The short ratio is the number, like how many days it will take short sellers to cover their position based on the volumes being traded. So it will take, almost like a week for the short sellers to cover their position, which will just keep the rally going. So the short float is very, very high. Seeing the short float that high is a very good sign that there could potentially be a short squeeze. But what will happen, I'll tell you. So the technical is the most important thing. Let's go back to the daily chart. The technical setup has to be there for a squeeze to happen. But what will happen is some news will come out. Nothing significant has come out, but there could be a news like, oh, Plug Power is partnering with Tesla. I'm just giving ideas. Like some news has to come out that causes a massive volume to come in, and you could see like a 20% spike in a day. You're not going to be able to catch it, but watch out for that. Some news has to come out to trigger the short squeeze. So some news will come out that will cause the stock to rally 20-25% in a day. Go back and take a look at all the trend lines that have drawn, and it's above the trend line. And you can also use this indicator called super trend. And if it prints a buy signal, again, the main thing on the weekly, if it's above this, if it's like say trading at like around $2, that's a good sign. And you have a lot of volume, that's a good sign. That's the beginning of a short squeeze. And you don't have to like panic and try to time it perfectly, because if the short squeeze does happen, because the short ratio is so high that we saw, it will last a while. Like here, for example, like you could say like right here, like it was consolidating. See where I have my cursor, like November 20th. Right here, it was consolidating for 3 weeks, and boom, this week was back here, like where it jumped 20% in a week, was the start of this massive short squeeze that lasted like almost like a month or a month and a half. So you don't have to panic and try to like time it perfectly. Just watch out for this indicator. Oh, I just noticed this. I turned on the super trend and it is printing a buy signal on the super trend on the weekly, which is that's very impressive. Okay. That's a really good sign because you see back here? Oh my god. See, I don't catch everything until I catch it. So this is amazing. I'm just kind of like doing it live with you guys right now. You see back here when it printed a buy signal on the super trend on the weekly, and from here, from the time it printed the buy signal to almost the time it printed the sell signal on the weekly, holy moly, like a massive 22,000%. So 22x. Can we see something like that? Again, that's very, now I'm, like, super interested because that's really awesome, like, it printed that buy signal, but personally, like, here, when it printed that buy signal, it was already trading up above the 250, right? So, that's what we wanna see. Even though, super trend is a pretty decent indicator, works, a good amount of time, it's still the moving averages take hierarchy over everything else, over RSI, over support resistance, over Fibonacci. The moving averages take precedent. They're the most potent, the first thing you have to like look at when trying to determine, okay, if it's going to be a breakout. So that's a good sign. It printed a buy signal. Now watch out. Watch for it to trade above $2 and boom, you're in business. Then you could definitely 100% see it go up to $11. But you could also see if the squeeze keeps, pumping and the short sellers aren't able to cover in time and all the hype comes in, retailers come in, more news articles are being written about it. You could see it go, you could see it do another 2000x, but that's a good sign. So I guess that's it for this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope you like my style of analysis. Please let me know in the comment if you do like my style of analysis. I'm going to try to make it more entertaining to appeal to a broader audience. But I need ideas. Give me ideas. Like, should I have like things pop up on the screen that's relevant to the information I'm talking about? I need ideas. And what else do you guys want to see videos about? I'm obviously interested in like stocks and chart analysis, but I'm also thinking about doing videos on CEOs of the companies. Like, for example, like the CEO of opendoor.com just got fired or like forced resignation. And I think that would be a very interesting story to make a video on. If you made it this far in the video, tell me in the comments if that's something you want to see and give me ideas. I need ideas. I want to know from you guys, what do you want to see videos on? Everything doesn't have to be just chart analysis. I can do videos on other stuff that's relative to like making money and companies and CEOs and how we can take advantage of like different information. So give me ideas in the comment section, please. I'll respond to every single person that leaves a comment. Give this video a like. Let's try to get it to 100 likes and subscribe, turn on your post notification, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.